Adil, please confirm, is my screen visible to you? Hello?
Yes, Parth.
Okay. So we welcome all the students and all the teachers who have joined our workshop for today. So as you know that once again, updates is coming near, and so it's an all technological fever going on around the students. And we all know that we are not attending the classes much, but we will surely be attending this technological fest, and we will try our most best to get most out of this. So as we know that in updates there is one event Rangolify, and in that event we will be going to use Turtle module. So today we will be covering what actually is in there in Turtle module and how can we make beautiful designs within Turtle module. So the table of contents for today's workshop is we will be seeing what is Python, why is Python so popular, some of the features of Python, where Python is used, and who uses Python. Once we cover the basics of Python, we will be quickly moving to Turtle module, and we will be seeing some beautiful designs which can be made using Turtle. So basically starting with Python. So what is Python? So Python is an interpreted language. Unlike other languages, Python is an interpreted. So you don't need compilation in Python. It is interpreted, it is object oriented, it is a high level programming language with dynamic semantics. We all know that we are not much interested in the theory part of Python, but we want to learn what actually is Python and how we can type Python. So the basic thing why Python is so famous is, as you can see, that Python is one of the most popular language right now. So it is most popular and it is also the most growing language after Java. So as till now, if we see 5 years back, then we will be seeing that each and everyone is talking about Java. But just 5 years or 6 years past that, we are seeing that Python is taking over the world. So why is this happening? Why is Python taking over the world? If you can see this graph, then you can see that just 10 years before, there was very less use of Python. But just 10 years down the line, we can see there is a huge increase in the use of Python. So why is Python so popular? The question is, the programmers fall in love with Python because it is very easier to learn and it provides much productivity. The same line of code, if you write in C++, it can be of 3 or 4 lines, which can be completed in just 1 line in Python. So that makes it, that attracts all the coders from all over the world, and you can actually focus on what really matters rather than focusing on the syntax of the code. So the features of Python are, it is an interpreted language, as I said, it is more productive, it's free, it has a large community base. So if you do have any doubt, you can ask on Stack Overflow and you will be getting that doubt for sure. It is object oriented. It is portable, it has database connectivity, and it has interoperability. So where is Python used? So the main use of Python is mostly in data science and artificial intelligence, whereas it is famous for that, but it is also used in desktop applications, in mobile applications, in web development, in scripting, and in operating systems. So these are the basic various companies that uses Python, and I don't think so that any of these companies requires to be introduced to you. So Python also has a strong library support, and it supports various libraries which are very powerful libraries, and we will be learning one of them today, which is Turtle. So where you can execute Python, then there are popular IDEs and also Google Colab. I would recommend personally to use VS Code and Google Colab or Jupyter Notebook to enjoy the interactivity of Python. So now, without further ado, let's move on to the hands-on session of Python, because as a student, even I know that this all theory part is boring for us. So we'll be starting with the actual hands-on session of Python. So first, basically, whenever we learn any programming language, we start with the print statement. So Python has a simple print feature. What you can do is simply write print, and in it you can write anything what you want to print, and when you will run it, it will show that line. So just because of this, the Python language becomes famous among the students and the developers because it's very easier to write and people love it because of it. So as you can see here, hello, welcome to the first workshop. Start time is 10 p.m. You can change it if you want to add some variables or anything. You can just add over here and you can change it. So what we will get in the print is the start time is 4 p.m. So this is as simple as that. So for comment in Python, you simply have to add this hashtag over here for a single line comment. If you don't add hashtag, then there won't be comment. If you want to have a comment, then you simply add hashtag, then the line is commented. If you want a multiple line comment, then you have to add three single quotes for the starting and three single quotes for the ending, and anything that you write in between, that will be the single line and multiple line comment. So I guess these are the very easier things that everyone would love about Python. And now we'll be moving on to the data types. Which data types are there in Python? So Python has all the basic data types just like C, C++, Java. If you know any of the language like C or C++ or any language from that, you will be easier for you to learn Python. So, and in C and Java, you have to write that int a is equals to 10. But as I said above, that Python is an interpreted language. You just have to write a is equals to 10. It will automatically interpret that it is int. Then you have to write print a is b. If you want to write a float, then you have to write just 5.2. It will automatically interpret it as float. If you want to write it a complex number, then you can write it as 2 plus 3j. It will be a complex number. If you want to mention as a string, then you have to write in single quote or double quote. Both are available in it. So this makes it so easier for programmers that you don't have to mention that whether this is a string. Python will automatically understand, yes, this is a string. So it will act accordingly. So just now I have mentioned these things, that a is integer, b is float, c is a complex number, d is a string, and e is a true or false, that is Boolean number. So whenever I will print the type, you can simply type of whatever the data type you want to type. You can simply mention type of that variable, and it will mention that 10 is an integer, 5.2 is a float, 2 plus 3j is a complex number, string is a string, and true is a class Boolean. So because of this, it becomes very easier for us to understand Python. Next, we'll be moving to typecasting. So typecasting means when you want to convert one data type to another data type. So let us assume that we have given a is equals to 10. So what will Python do is it will assume it as int. But I don't want it to be assumed as int. I want to convert it to float. So what I will do is I will simply type float, and under the single round brackets I will mention a. So it will convert 10 into 10.0. And similarly, if I want to convert it to string, then I simply have to write str and into curly round brackets once again whatever I want to convert or typecast it to. So this makes it very easier to rotate between different types, because when you are programming, then there might be cases that you have to you have something in integer and you want it in float. So at this kind of situation, this thing is very useful. The next is typecasting float to other types. So you can typecast float by just mentioning type of if you want to convert it to int, then you will have to mention int of a, then it will convert 12.5 to 12. Similarly, if you want to convert it to string, then you will have to just write simply string of a, and it will convert it to string. So with this, it becomes very easier for everyone to understand. The next thing is typecasting string to other types. So if I have mentioned a as a in single quotes 100, then it will basically understand it as string. But if I want to mention it as integer, then it will I will just have to mention integer of a. Here 2 means it will convert it to decimal binary system. So 100 means 4, as we know it. If we convert it to this 101, it will make it as 5. Once again, if I want to convert it to float, then I will just have to mention float and in it a. The next is operators, which all operators are available in our Python. So all the basic operators, just like C and C++, are available in Python, and you can directly mention a plus b, a minus b for subtraction, a star b for multiplication, a divide by b for floating point division, a double divide by b. If you mention 2 times slash, then it will do integer division. As you can see, 7 divided by 2, it comes 3.5 in a slash b, but it will be coming 3 in a double slash b. Then if you want to find the module of a function, you simply have to write percentage symbol. And if you want exponential function, then you will have to write double star. So I guess these are much basic data types and much basics of Python. So if you do have any doubt, just type in the chat box and I will solve your doubts. So moving further, the assignment operators. So assignment means if you want to assign something to a variable, then if you want, you can even write a comma b is equal to 10 comma 5, then 10 will be assigned to a and 5 will be assigned to b. And when you will write a equals to b, then a will become 5. So when we print the a, the value of 5 is printed. Second assignment operator is plus equals to. This can be seen as a equals to a plus b. So these are all the basic things which we have also seen in C and C++. We use assignment operators to just shorten our code. So whenever I print a, then a will be equals to a plus b, that is 10 plus 5, that is 15. When I write a minus equals to b, it will be interpreting it as a equals to a minus b, that is a equals to 10 minus 5, that is 5. If I mention star, a star equals to b, then it will be interpreting it as a equals to a star b, and when I will be printing a equals to 10 star 5, that is 50. Next is the division assignment operator, which equals to a equals to a divided by b, 10 divided by 5, 2. Similarly, you can do it for all the arithmetic operators which we have, that is modulo operator, the floating point, integer division operator, and the exponential operator. If you do have any doubts, then you can drop the message in chat box. I'll be continuing with the unary operator. So unary operator says that a equals to minus 10. So just when I add minus and a equals to a minus a, then minus 10 becomes 10. Similarly, we have some operators like double equals to, which is a comparison operator. If a will be equals to b, here a is 10, b is 6, they are not equal, so this will print false. Similarly, not equals to will be printing true. A greater than b will be printing true. A greater than or equals to b will be printing true. A less than b or a less than or equals to. So these are similar functions which are very useful in if and else statement, the conditional statements which we'll be learning in further. The next thing which we have is if 2 is greater than 3, this is if-else statement and small example of if-else statement. If 2 is greater than 3, then print true, else print false. So this will be printing false as we know. Next, what we have is we'll be using assignment operators. A, B will be assigning as 7 and 10. If A is greater than B, A is greater, B is greater than A, B is greater. So what this language actually look like is, it's just what we speak. So it is very readable kind of language, and that's what makes this much favorite among the youth and all the developers. So next is logical operator. So we have the logical operator as logical AND, logical OR, and logical NOT. So true and false if we have, and we use AND, then all the engineers know the answer, false. If we use OR, then it will be coming as true. And if we use NOT of A, NOT A is right now true, so it will become false. Next, what we'll be seeing is the input-output method. So it's very easy to take input from in Python. You can simply write input and enter anything. So whatever I will be entering over here, it will ask me that what you want to enter anything. I'll be entering hello. This is updates 2020. So it will be printing hello. This is updates 2020. Next, what we have is variable. If we want to take, and basically it will be taking in the input as a string. But if I want to take and print some integer variable, then I will be typecasting it to int. So I'll be getting the variable as int. So it's of class int. Similarly, if I want to have some different values and I want to split it into spaces, then I just have to mention dot split. If I mention dot split, then what will I do is it will by default change the input in by spaces. So let's see the example of what happens is, if I mention hello, then if I mention hi and update. So it will be taking three different things, hello, hi and updates, and it will become a list. So list is a data structure in Python. We will be seeing basics of list, but we won't be diving much deep into this list thing, because we have the main motto of this workshop is to cover turtle. So the next is output. If I mention F over here, then what will happen is it will print out, it will see the curly braces, and it will actually mathematically operate it. So first let's see what it does with F. So it prints out 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, that is 5 divided by 2. But if I remove this F, what will happen is it will simply print out the curly braces. So we can understand that why we use this F. Next is, whenever we can use format to just input wherever we have those curly braces. So when I run it, this 5 will go into the first curly brace, this 2 will go into the second curly brace, and this 5 by 2 will go into the third curly brace. Next, what we have is, this is an important part and a very much used thing in the Python, that is list. So just like as we have arrays in Java and C++, we have list in Python. So what happens is you mention the list as 1, 2, 3, and when you print it out, it will type it as type of list is list. Second, if you want to print some individual variables, if you want to access this second, then you have to type 1, just like arrays in C and C++. You have to mention the index and it will print it out. Similarly, if you want to print out directly my list can have different kinds of variables or data types in it. So as you can see, the first number is integer, the second is a float, the third is a string, fourth is a string. fifth is a complex number, and sixth is a list itself. So list, in list you can mention anything on all the data types. It can be a conglomerate of different data types. The next is my list 3. So it will be changing the third number to replace, and then we will be printing it out. You can check the list of length of the list by just adding length. So it will be printing out the length of my list. This was the very first data structure of Python. The second data structure is tuple. So tuple is similar to list, but the change is you use round brackets in tuple, whereas you use square brackets in list. And these are also similar to lists, but these are immutable. What is the meaning of immutable? Means if you once assign the value of something in a tuple, you cannot change it. So once I assign 1, 2, 3, hello, and this list in tuple, then it will print it out. But you cannot change this thing now because these are immutable. Similarly, you can access the variables of 1, 2, f in f your choice, but you cannot change it because list is a immutable. Tuple object does not support item assignment. And the final data structure which we have is called dictionary. In dictionary, you can dictionary is like JSON format. So whenever you are dealing with the JSON format in Python, then you can use list, and you can easily switch between Python and Java using this dictionary. So what happens is you can assign cat in dictionary. What you have to do is you have to assign the index and you have to assign the value. So I am assigning the index as cat and I am assigning its value as cute. So cat will be storing cute, then dog will be storing furry. And when I print D of cat, I'll be getting cute. Then I'll be printing cat in D, then it will be printing 2 because it has cat in this dictionary. And when I'll be printing the type, it will be printing class. Next, what we have is, now if you want to add something to this dictionary, then we simply have to add the index over here and the value over here. So like that we can add the value. If we don't have any value index, like the monkey is not present in this dictionary, and I'll be trying to print it out, then I'll be getting a key error that monkey is not present over here. Monkey is not a key of D. Similarly, if I want to create some dictionary from tuples, then I can simply write dict to convert it. So these 2 tuples will be converted to dictionary. The next is looping structure. So what we have in looping structure is, if let's assume that we have a list, that cat, dog, and monkey, and we want to iterate over this list, then what I'll have to simply do is, for animals in list. So this is a variable. You can keep it as X, you can keep it as X, and similarly, you can print it out. It will print out cat, then dog, then monkey. Similarly, if I want to iterate over a tuple, then I can write for animals in tuple, and it will print out dog, fish, cow, lion. Also, if you want to iterate over a dictionary, then we can iterate over for animals, legs. We can iterate over 2 things in dictionary, that is the index and the value. So the first index will be going into animal, and the legs will be going in, the value will be going into legs. And what we have to mention is d.items. So we'll be getting a person has 2 legs, a cat has 4 legs, and a spider has 8 legs. Next, what we have is, if I just want to iterate over the indexes, then I will have to write K for key in D dot keys, and if I will be printing it out, I'll be getting person, cat, spider. That is the keys, the indexes of our dictionary, person, cat, spider. Also, if I want to iterate over the values, then I will have to just change the D dot keys to D dot values, and we'll be iterating over the values 2, 4, 8 as 2, 4, 8. So there is, if you want to access the index of each element with the body, then you can use the enumerate function which we have in Python. So what it will do is, it will be assigning index also, and it will be assigning the value to the second thing. So index will be assigned as 1, 2, and 3, and animal will be assigned as cat, dog, and monkey. And when we're printing it out, we'll be getting 1, 2, 3. But we have to keep it in mind that here we are doing index plus 1. So if I won't be doing that, then I'll be getting 0, 1, 2. So the enumerate starts the values from 0 and ends it at. So if you want to get 1, 2, 3, then we will just have to simply add 1. Okay, so next is the range function in Python. So to understand the range function, we'll be using the looping structure. So if I write for I in range 10, then it will be taking all the values from 0 to 9. So it will be printing each and everything, that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have to keep in mind that the range function starts from 0. And the number which we mention in range is not included. If I start from 2 to 16, then it will be mentioning from 2 to 15. If I start from 0, 10, and I mention a third argument as 2, then it will be taking a step of 2. So if I start from 0 to 10, it will be 0, one step of 2, that is 2, one step of 2, that is 4, another step of 2, that is 6, and another step of 2, that is 8. So even while loop can be used in Python. So it can be used like if I mention I equals to 10, while I is greater than 10, I'll be printing I. And again, I'll be using the assignment, shorthand assignment, and I equals to I minus 1. So I'll be reducing over here, and it will be running till I is greater than 10. The next thing which we have over here is the functions in Python. So just like the functions in C and C++, here you have to simply write definition, and you have to indent it once. Python, yes, I forgot to mention this, that Python works on indentation. You don't have to mention any semicolon or colon, anything. You just have to indent it. So if you want to go in this for loop, you have to just press one tab and it will going into this for loop. It will be understanding it. But if you write it over here, then the for loop won't have anything, and except for this simply loop. So if you want to consider it in the loop, then you will have to enter a tab. So I just create a function over here that if x is greater than 0, then we'll be returning positive. If x is less than 0, then we'll be returning negative, and if x else will be returning 0. So we'll be iterating over this, that for x in -1, 0, 1. So first -1 will be going in x, 0 will be going in x, and then 1 will be going in x. And I'll be printing sign of x, which is the name of our function. So for -1 we'll be printing negative, for 0 we'll be printing 0, and for 1 we'll be printing positive. Next what we have is another example of the function, that we are naming a function hello, and we are passing two arguments, then namely name and loud equals to false. So this is like a default argument which we are setting in the function. So if no argument is passed in the function, then it will be by default taking it as false. So it will be printing out hello and the name of the function. And if loud, so if it is true, then it will be going over here. If it is false, then it will be going over here. So here in hello, I'm not passing. Yes. Hello. Hello. Did someone ask some question?
Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask us or you can just type in the chat.
Yes. Okay, so I'll be moving further. So if you mention hello, then it will be by default taking loud as false and will be ending up as in the second else part, that is small hello Bob. And if I be mentioning Fred and loud equals to true, then we'll be getting the output as hello with all the capital in Fred. Next is the lambda function. This is a new thing in Python which others functions do not have. So which means that if you, it is a single line function, and if you want to make some functions of single line, then you can mention by this lambda. Then what it does is, if I write it as x equals to lambda a colon a plus 10, then and whatever I mention in x, if I'm mentioning x equals to 5, then 5 will be going in this a. The output factor is this. This is the output line, and this is the operation which takes place on it. So what will be going in a is a equals to 5 plus 10. So this 5 will be going in this, and 5 plus 10, that is 15, will be going in a, and 15 will be printed out. Similarly, if I mention 3 parts, the input, the assignment will be going as a plus b plus c, that is 5 plus 6 plus 2, which gives you 13, and it will be given as the output of this lambda function. So with this, the basics of Python have been covered. If you do have any doubt, then I'll be waiting for 1 or 2 minutes, and you can ask your doubts in the chat box. Any doubt to anyone? Okay. So no problem. We'll be continuing with the next thing, that is the main idea of today's workshop, that is turtle. So what actually is turtle and why is turtle being used? So turtle is a creative as well as innovative library. So with turtle you can make some beautiful designs in and live graphics in Python. So it gives you a feature of drawing board which helps us draw all over it. So I guess we have learned this before, and if we were in 6th or 7th, we had this turtle thing. We simply had to write the idea of turtle. So this is inspired, this library is inspired from over there, and we can add much more things to it. So we'll be just seeing the basic functions which are there in turtle, and then we'll be moving on to the designs which we can make from turtle. So to make a turtle object, the turtle method is used. So with this turtle method, you will be able to form a turtle object of it. Next, what we have is the forward button. So once the turtle object is made, you can use this forward to go in the forward direction using turtle. It has the parameter of amount. If you mention 100, then it will be moving forward by 100 mm. If you mention backward, then it will be moving backward. Then we have right and left. What right left do is, in right left, it's simply used for turning the turtle towards right. The parameter which is used in right is angle. So if you write right equals right, and in it you write 100, then it will be making an angle of 100 degree towards right. Similarly, in left, it will be making an angle of 100 degree towards left, whatever angle that you mention in it. Then we have 2 more functions, that is pick up the turtle and put down. So pen up. What pen up does is, it will take the pen up. So if you want to mention anything and if you want to just pick up the pen and if you want to move it towards something without drawing anything, then pen up function is used. And once you pick the pen up and you want to put the pen down, then pen down function is used. We also have the color option. So the color option changes is the color of the pen. Then we have the go to function. So using this go to function, what we'll be able to do is we will be going to some specific parameter or specific place in our drawing object. Then begin fill means it is the starting point of our thing, that if it will start filling the object from over this. We will be understanding this function. I know it's a bit hard to understand it just by me saying, but we'll be moving on to the hands-on session and we'll be seeing each and every function in action. Then end fill will be filling the color in the polygon. Next, what we have is speed. So speed is used for the speed of turtle. So when we'll be writing some function and you'll be seeing the speed of turtle, it will be more understandable at them. So without further ado, let us see some of the programs which can be done in turtle. So is the screen visible to you, or do I need to zoom a bit?
Can you zoom in a little?
Okay, so is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is the very first design. It's just a basic shape of how you can do it. So I'll be importing turtle as NEN. So you can mention anything over here. If I want to mention, let's say update or then change to DSC, and I'll be replacing it all. Then it will be working over then too. So I'll be importing turtle as DSC. Then I'll be setting the color of my pen. First, I'll be assigning a module named turtle, assigning the object of turtle. Then I'll be setting the color. So the first parameter is the border. The second parameter is the fill-in color. What I'll be doing is I'll be starting to fill. As I said, the begin fill is the starting point. Then I want to move forward by 100 mm. Then I want to move right by 90 mm. Then I want to move 90 degree. So what will happen is first we will go forward, then it will just turn right. Again we will go forward by 100 degree. Again we will turn right. Again go forward. Again turn right, and again go forward. So what happens is, I guess this will make a square because of 100 right, 100 right, 100 right. So a basic square can be made out of this. And then using the end fill, it will be filling it with the color, which we mention over here, that is cyan. Once again, now what I'm doing is I'm taking the pen up. Why am I taking the pen up? Because the one square has already been made. Now I want to move, I don't want to write anything, but I want to move my turtle to somewhere else. So I'll be moving it towards the right direction, then moving forward 120. Remember this, whenever I'm doing the pen up and pen down function, pen up will take the pen up. So now nothing will be written. And again, I'll be taking a turn on the right and will be moving forward in the right by 120 mm. And then I'll be keeping the pen down. So once again, whatever I'll be doing, it will be getting written on the blackboard or whiteboard. So if I start filling again and I make the same thing, I'll be copying, pasting. This is, so I've been basically trying to make two squares. So, and once again, the same thing which I have written up, the same thing is over here. And once you are done with it, you have to write dsc.done, which is turtle.done, and if I run it, it will make a turtle over. It will make a square over here. It will move towards right and make a square over here. What happens if I do not write this done is it will complete it, but this will automatically close down. If I write this done and then I run it, then we will be able to see the design. So just you see, we started down from here, we moved forward, we moved this side, right, we moved right, then again moved forward, again turned right, again moved forward, again turned right, again moved forward. Then we took up the pen and moved to this side. So we got over here and we did the same process again and made a square. So this was a pretty easy design. I guess it is clear to everyone, and I guess every one of you can make such easy designs with this. So any doubt to anyone in this very first design which we saw? Okay. Now let's see if I want to change the color, and I want to change it to my favorite color. Let's say it's purple. And if I run it, it's already running, so it won't run again. I'll have to close it. And so the color which is filled inside will be purple. Now, if I want to change this border, see the border is cyan right now. If I want to change the border, then I will have to changing this to black or anything which I want. If I run this, then you can see that I am having black border right now. If you want to see it clearly, I will be changing the inner color to yellow. So what I get now is, I don't think there is yellow color in this, so green. Oops. Okay, this was not clear. So I'll be getting green color with a black border over there. If I again change the color to yellow, then we'll be seeing yellow color with black border. So this was the first design. I hope everyone is getting my point. Yes, we'll be using the RGB color format. We will be seeing it in Karthik in the next few programs. So this was a basic program to just get you understanding of what actually turtle is. In the second program, as you can see, we can use the color code too, and using this color code, we can have the color of which we want. Here I am using turtle speed and I am setting the speed to 0. Importing turtle again, setting some things for turtle that I want this pink color, and starting the starting point, that is begin fill. So begin fill, it has for I in range 50. So just as we saw right now, there will be 50 values in I, and this will be moving for 50 times. What I am doing is I am moving forward 300. So that is 3 centimeter I am moving forward. Then I am taking a left of 170 degree. 170 degree means it is as close to just coming in this backward direction, but not exactly backward direction. So this will be happening 50 times. The same thing will be happening 50 times, and it will be filled with color pink. Then I'm end filling and turtle done. So let's see what we can get in this is. So what is happening is we are going from, let's say we are starting from here, we are going straight 300, then we are making a turn of 170, we are coming again straight, again we are making a turn, again straight, again turn, and again straight. So it can be well understood if I reduce it to just 5. But the design won't be proper. So just understand that if we are starting from here, we are moving straight, then here, here, here. So if I'm doing some PNC and writing some good figure over here, then we'll be getting a beautiful design. Let's change this color to, once again, my favorite color, purple. And we'll be turning now by 175 degree, which is very close to 180. So if I run this, then such a kind of design I'm getting. So in such cases, what I have to do is, I don't want to fill. So the filling won't be done. The color which was being filled inside won't be filled now. So sometimes you want to fill some with the color, sometimes you don't want. This design looks more beautiful without the color. So I guess everyone got this design. It is a very basic design. If you do have any doubts, then feel free to drop it in the chat box. Okay, so now we'll be moving towards the third design. So now let's do something more interesting. So now we'll be using the get screen function, and with the get screen, we will be setting the background to black. What is 8A2F color? Okay, so this is color. You can take it from Paint. There is it is the RGB color format. You can take it whichever color you like. If you want a custom color, you can go to Paint and just see the code of that color, and you can get that new color if you want. Okay. So next is, let's do something more interesting. We are getting our screen, new screen, and we are setting the background color to black. So with this, what we have is we will be having a black background color. Then what we are having is, we are setting the pen color to white, because my second most favorite thing after the purple color is the black and white combination. So I am setting the background to black and the pen color to white, keeping the speed to 0. Sometimes what you need to do is, you need to take the pen and keep it to a specific position, because the pen basically is at some position which we don't know. So if I mention some definite location, then it will be, if I mention go to and mention a definite location, then it will be directly moving over to that thing. And then I'll be keeping the pen down, setting some two new variables, a equals to 0, b equals to 0. Then what I'll be doing is, I'm moving forward by a and I'm moving left by b. I'm increasing a by 3 and I'm increasing b by 1. And whenever b hits 200, then I'll be breaking this chain. So let's see what I'm getting with this is a black background and a beautiful design. What happens is, you first move forward. If we basically see this design, we are the first way, if you saw, then a circle was made. We move a bit forward, then the degree which we are changing here by left, we change the degree, again move forward, again change the degree, again move forward. Every time we are moving forward, the length of moving forward is increasing, and every time we are moving left, the moving left is also increasing. If I am changing this b to 2000, then let's see what interesting can we get out of that. It will keep on going till b reaches 2000. So the design will be going out of this screen. Similarly, if I move right instead of this, then the design will be forming in left direction. But as you can see, I have to change the position right now. That's why I use this 0 and minus 200 function. I'll be setting it to plus 200 now, and again seeing where I'm getting the design. Then I'll be getting the design at my required position, because first it was starting from here and it was going down, but then I took the pen up and took it over here. So that's how you can use the pen up and pen down function. So this is just like you see some permutation and combination. You try some good numbers, you try some good design, and you might end up with some beautiful design. Next, we'll be moving to the next thing. Once again, we are now, as Karthik said, we'll be using some RGB variant, and we'll be using the random thing too. So using the random, we are assigning some random integer from 0 to 2 to 255 in R, in G, and in B. And how many times are we doing this? We are doing this for 300 times. Once again, we are setting the background to black. We'll be starting from x equals to 1 for x in range 100. What will happen is the color mode. We have to, when you are doing any color, then you have to set the color mode to 255. So it will be choosing any color from this 255 range of colors. Then I will be setting the pen color to RGB, which I have mentioned over here. So the pen color is set. I'll be moving forward and then moving left, that is by 90 degree, almost by 90 degree. But I'm moving a bit more than 90 degree. Why am I moving a bit more than 90 degree? Let's see that. So every time, if you see why I moved more than 90 degrees to get this spiral kind of design. If I would be moving just 90 degrees, then I would be getting squares. But I wanted some this kind. And every time when you see that there are some different colors randomized in our design. So just by using some random things and random function and some permutation and combination, you can create beautiful design. So this was the fourth function. If you do have any doubt, then you can ask in the chat box. Let's move to the fifth function. This is a bit tricky design and a kind of design which can be asked in the round 2 of Rangolify updates. So if you do like this thing of creating some beautiful design, and if you think you can beat everyone in creating design, then do apply for the updates competition Rangolify. I'll be sharing the link of the registration in the chat box later. So let's come back to our fifth function. It is turtle. Right now I'm setting the background color to pink. Taking the pen up, moving to a desired position where I guess the design will be perfect. Setting some speed. This speed doesn't matter after some time. It has a threshold of like 200, but the speed won't increase after it. I'll be setting some color for my border. Once I start the design, what happening is, and in this function, we have used the recursive function in Python. So what happens in recursion is the function calls itself. So if size is less than 10, then I'll be returning. Else what we'll be doing is, we'll be beginning filling for I in range 5. So 5 times we are moving, and this is the simple formula. You can get it anywhere. It is these lines are used to make star design in Turtle. So what happens is this function will keep calling itself star. So we are moving forward. Again, we are calling the star with turtle and size will be given by divided by 3. So right now I am giving 360. In the next phase it will be 120. In the next phase 40. And let's see what kind of design do we get. Everywhere you can see stars are being made up to the end. So this is a proper example of recursion. First one star was being made over here. Just let me, one star was being made over here. Every star endpoint also has a star, and even that star's endpoint has a star. So what we get is a big star having 5 stars, each having 5 stars, each having 5 stars. So this is a proper example of a recursion function. This is the main function which we called. It called this function, it called this function, and it called this function. If I set this 360 to 120, what will happen? Let's see. One of the stars will be clearly reduced. So the statement is being ended just over here. But if I take it as, let's say 3. Hello, sorry, I had a network issue over there. So if I keep it 360 into 3, that is 1080, the star will be out of my screen. Won't be able to show you, but the same thing will be happen. The star will be keep being made. So I'll be coming down to 360 and play it. So this was the turtle module, but this was just the basics of turtle module, and this will be enough for you to participate in the competition. But what actually the use of turtle is, it is many a times used for making some games. It is also used for making some logos and everything. So here we have, for the bonus section, I have added one more game to our turtle. Let's just first play the game, and then I will be showing you the code. So here we have 2 players, and my terminal is showing press and enter to roll the die. I'll be pressing enter. The first turtle moves. The result of die is 3, so I moved 60. I do the second enter. I again get 3, and my second turtle moves 60. I do the third enter. I get 4 on the dice, and my first turtle moves by 80. Again I press enter. Even my second turtle gets 4. Let's see. Similarly, if I keep entering, then my first and second turtle will be keep getting some things, and whosoever crosses the circle first will be winning. So as you can see, player 1 wins. So this was a kind of thing. Now let's understand how the code of this thing has been written. So here there are basically 2 things, player 1 and player 2. So I'm assigning player 1 with the turtle object, setting its color to green, its shape to turtle. So my first player has been made. Then I'm doing what, if you see the game, then the starting, this turtle comes here, draws a circle, then this turtle comes here, draws a circle, and comes back to its position. So what is happening is, I am taking my player 1 over here, then I am making player 2, which is a clone of the player 1, and setting its color to blue. Then I am picking up the pen of player 2 and taking it to minus 200, minus 100. So my first turtle will be above, the second turtle will be just below it. Then I'll be taking my player 1 to 300, 60 and drawing a circle of radius 40. Similarly, I'll be taking my player 2 to that position and drawing a circle. And I am giving the values of die as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what happens with this is my basic game is being made. That is, my first turtle comes here, draws a circle, second turtle comes here, draws a circle, and comes back over here. Now what I have to do is, I want this turtle to move towards its racing course, and I want second turtle to move towards its racing course. Now how can I complete this? So what I'll do is, I'll start a for loop in range 20. See, here I'm in the very beginning I'm mentioning if player 1's position is greater than 300, 100, which is the position of the circle, then it will be printing player 1 wins. In the second case, it will be printing player 2 wins. If none of the player has won till now, then what will happen is player 1's turn is equals to input and press enter to roll the die. Then the outcome of die is random.choice, die. So from anything of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a random choice will be thrown in die outcome. I'll be printing the result of that die outcome. Then the steps will be taken accordingly. And similarly, it will be moving forward. Player 1 dot FD. So player 1 moves forward by 20 into whatever die outcome which we get. And we do the same process for player 2. But the mistake which we did that both the players are moving in the same thing. So here I'm taking the value in D, but I'm printing out the die outcome of 1. So I'll be again changing it to die outcome of what actually it has got. So simple example of very simple game is been done here. Let's once again play this game. I'll set this to here and over this to here. So our game has begun. If I enter once, what the A got was, A got 5. Player 1 got 5, so it moved 100. Player 2 got 4, so it moved 80. Player 1 again got 5. First, I am the green player, okay, and the second is the computer. So player 1 got 5, again it moved 100, and let's see what player 2 gets. It got 2. He is a loser. This computer cannot beat me. So once again, we'll be moving to green card. I got 4 again. The computer got 5. Oh. He is chasing me. Oh no, I got 1. And the computer got 2. And I got 6. See, there should be one more thing, that if I get 6, then I should have one more chance. So I guess maybe you all can try this thing, that if I get 6, then a bonus chance is granted to you. Computer got 5, I got 6 again, and I won the race. So player 1 wins. So that was all about the turtle module. I hope every one of you liked the module. And if you did like and want to test your skills in the same, I'll be sharing this link in the description. Do join the event. And with this, as you all know that every time we conduct an event, whether it's DSC or it's updates, we take a photo of virtual event. And so I would request each and every one of you to turn on your camera so that we can have a photo of everyone. Hello guys, let me see you. Come on, turn on your camera, guys. वैसे भी कॉलेज में तो अभी मिल पा रहे हैं नहीं, तो अभी ऐसे ही मिल लेते हैं, क्या है. Okay, and also if you do have any doubts regarding the turtle module, then you may ask your question in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer it. And even if you try it later out tonight and you do have any doubt, then you can message me or the DSC team, and we will be more than happy to answer your doubt. And do participate in the event. It will even brush up your skills and get you learn something new. So thank you everyone for being such a nice audience. And do let me know if any doubts are there.